We're just a few hours away from Yom Kippur. Let's take notice of what we normally do right now in these next couple of hours. First of all, it's a minhag to ask forgiveness for those that are closest to us and those that we may have offended or hurt. This is the day to ask forgiveness. It's part of the kapara, it's part of the atonement. And so those that are closest to you, spouse, children, grandparents, friends, community members, this is the time right now to pick up the phone and ask forgiveness. Secondly, it's a time to prepare for Yom Kippur. It's a time to prepare to make sure our home is ready, our home is set, our beds, everything, table, white tablecloth and everything, because it's not a Shabbat, but it's the Shabbat of all Shabbatot. Yom Kippur is noted to be the greatest Shabbat of the year. And so even though it's Sunday night, but it's the greatest Shabbat of the year, and therefore we prepare as if we're preparing for Shabbat. Make sure to light your candles. There's a bracha we say on the candles. There's Shechianu we say on the candles. We also make sure by the time we light the candles and say Shechianu, we also are prepared. We already take off our leather shoes and we're ready to go. The meal that we have before Yom Kippur, it's noted to have at least 2 meals. If we can have both of them with bread, great. At least one of them with bread. There's a minhag to eat fish, but whatever we're going to eat things that are easy to digest, that don't become a burden on us. So we, number one, walk into the prayer tonight, to the tefillah of Yom Kippur, light and not feeling too rigid. And we also note that on Yom Kippur, there's the whole passages that we read about the 2 goats. One is sacrificed in the Bet HaMikdash. The other is overthrown by a cliff called the Azazel. And when the Kohen goes ahead and does that, it says V'chiper ba'ado v'ad beto v'ad kol kehal Yisrael. He has a number of offerings, but in one of them it's an atonement for himself, for his family, and for all of Am Yisrael. And number one, we learned that V'chiper, the kapara, there's a vidui, the confession that we make. We were going to make numerous accounts of confession on Yom Kippur. We take note of that, even if you don't remember that you did whatever you're reading in the Machzor, and it's not pertinent to you, but you never know, you may have done something that you forgot, but you're also asking collectively for something maybe in previous experiences, or also for collectively for all of Am Yisrael. Also, there are 2 the goats that we mentioned, that we spoke about. It says that he took 2 goats. The Kohen, the priest, we read about in Yom Kippur, he took 2 goats, one for the temple, one overthrown by a cliff. And so the Bnei Sachar ask, why does it mention 2? We know that it's 2 goats. The Torah could have said, and he took the goats, one here, one there, one goes to the temple, one goes over the cliff. And the answer is the 2. That particular number comes to note that he would take the goats, and he would be very cognitious about the fact that maybe the goats don't really want to do this. I mean, one of them is going to be overthrown by a cliff, one in the temple. Maybe both of them want to be in the temple. Why should one have a better service than the other? Why should one stay and remain inside the Holy of Holies, inside the holy sanctuary of Hashem, and the other would be go ahead and thrown by a cliff? Maybe he doesn't want that. But the Kohen says, the Bnei Sachar would go ahead and speak to these goats and say words to them and say, hey, this is a whole process. Whether it is you're going inside, you're going to be outside, you're all in the grand scheme of the service of Yom Kippur. And also to us, internally speaking, sometimes we have things that we feel that are holy about us, things that we feel that are not holy about us, that are foreign, that are distant, that are maybe over the cliff, that we don't want to see them. But ultimately, collectively, holistically, everything about our past year is meant to be. Everything about our past year, whether the things we're happy about or the things that we're not proud of, those things made us who we are today, right now. And with those experiences, the remorse or the happiness, you're walking into Yom Kippur and saying, Hashem, this is it, this is who I am, this is what I have become, and I'm in front of you. Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. This year, Bezat Hashem, 5784. We're walking in, we believe in the power of forgiveness, we believe in the power of Hashem, and the love of Hashem, and that in the anticipation of God, for us to come forth, to give our prayers, to give our heart to God. And so with that, we all enter, and I wish everyone, may it be a year of love, blessings, simcha, happiness to you and your families. May we get closer to each other, closer to God, closer to the community, closer to Israel, closer to Jerusalem, closer to the calling of our heart, of our neshama. Shana Tova.